Hey YouTube, welcome back to Nerdtastic Halloween, and happy Halloween everyone. I am your ever faithful host, Nerdcat, and for this last video of Nerdtastic Halloween for this year, I decided to do a character from one of my all-time favorite movies, The Labyrinth. For anyone who doesn't know, The Labyrinth is a Jim Henson creation. It was pretty much a giant music video for the late great David Bowie. And it's amazing. I have always loved Jim Henson creations, and I've watched The Labyrinth and Dark Crystal and The Storyteller and all of these since I was little, and they have always been a huge part of my life, so I thought it would be really fun to make this super easy and quick Halloween costume based off of the heroine of Labyrinth, Sarah. But I did decide to add a little bit of a twist to her makeup, so there's kind of a second part in this video, so it's a little bit of two makeups in one. I'm going to hand it off one last time to voiceover Jamie, and I will see you in the video.
So to start this very easy makeup, I blocked out just the end part of my eyebrows. I noticed that in the movie, Sarah has kind of shorter eyebrows than I do, so I just blocked out my tails so that my eyebrows were a little shorter. If you don't have as long eyebrows as me, you don't have to do this step. I just was trying to be as close to the picture references as I got. So just blocking out the tails of my eyebrows quickly, just so everything kind of looks a little bit better. And then I go in with my regular foundation. So I just put a layer of regular foundation down over my entire face. The beauty with Sarah's makeup is it's again another very natural look. It's the items or props, the outfit that you're putting together with it that sell the look as what character you're being. Very much like my Fleur makeup and the bubblehead charm was. So just lay down some foundation, cover up whatever you need. Then I just go in with some black eyeshadow to fill out my brows. She has black hair and dark black eyebrows, so I just went in with just a regular eyeshadow to fill those in. I took a kind of beige eyeshadow and laid it down over my eyelid, and then went in with a slightly darker beige for the inner crease and a little bit under eyes, just because it is a natural look, but when you add a little bit of brown to your eyelids, it kind of makes your eyes pop a little bit more. And then I just went in with some black eyeshadow to kind of just lightly line my top eyelid and then my waterline as well, because in all of the photos it looks like she has a little bit of black eyeliner, so I just wanted to try and mimic that. Now I'm just kind of buffing it out so it's a little bit more slightly natural looking. Then I go in with this kind of coral lipstick. In some of the scenes she just has very peachy lips, some look very pink. I think it's supposed to look like a natural lip, but I just put on a coral and then brushed it over with a little bit of powder to just kind of make it look a little bit more natural. Then I use mascara. If you have long, beautiful, dark lashes like the actress had, go ahead and skip that step, but I do not. And then I put a bunch of blush on over her nose and cheeks because in all of the photos that I see, she has a lot of redness happening on her cheeks, her nose, and a little bit on her forehead. So I laid the blush down slightly heavy, and then I went in with a white powder to kind of buff it out so that it looked more like rosy cheeks from, like, exertion.
And that's pretty much it for the makeup for Sarah. I am going to add the last couple of finishing pieces, and I will see you at the montage. And here's the final look for the quick and easy Sarah costume. This costume is seriously one of the easiest last minute kind of costumes. All you really need is a white shirt, puffy is better if you have it, and a vest and some jeans, and you are ready to go. Black hair is optional, but really it's just the puffy shirt and a vest and jeans, and you've got Sarah down pat. But with that said, I always thought it was a little weird how pristine she came out at the end. I mean, she went through so many trials and grueling tasks to get through the labyrinth to the Goblin King's castle, yet she never had a scratch on her. That seems interesting. Now, yes, you can debate it was all a dream, but what if it was real? What would Sarah have looked like at the end of her trials through the labyrinth? Well, let's turn the clock back and see, shall we?
Okay, so a clear spoiler warning, I guess, if no one's seen this 80s movie. I'm going to pick out two parts that happen to Sarah as I put them as my makeups, so I'm sorry if this spoils this old movie for you. I apologize ahead of time. Okay, into actually what's happening. So, first thing I'm mimicking is when Sarah shatters the glass illusion ball from the ballroom dream sequence. So I decided that, because, she takes a chair and she smashes the glass, and, she falls back, covering half her face, but her one side is still visible, so theoretically glass would have gotten there. So taking a couple of shards of hot glue that I created to look a little bit like glass shards, I kind of just sporadically place them around my eye, and I'm just attaching these with liquid latex. And every time I put my arm up, it's because I kept mimicking the picture that I have as reference. Taking some thin, like 1-ply toilet paper, dipping it in some liquid latex, and just kind of covering the base of the hot glue shards and pulling it up a little bit so that it looks like they're embedded in my skin. And I do that for all of the shards around my eye. And remember, when you're using liquid latex, to be careful around your eye. I know how my skin and my eyes react to liquid latex, so I'm fine. But if you react differently, do not, put liquid latex so close to your eye. Always be careful, I guess, is the motto here. So yeah, so I lay the liquid latex and the paper towels to make it mimic pulled skin. And I do that for all of them. Now, there is another scene when she is in the labyrinth and she goes up against the fireys, these little fire demons. And at one point, one of them, a couple of them, but one of them grabs her head from below where my hands are placed. Well, my finger is placed. And another hand is placed on her forehead, which you will see the bruising from that, as they try to yank her head off because their heads can come off. So I wanted to try and mimic bruising from having a hand placed it in those spots and trying to, rip off your hand. So I painted my hand first and kind of imprinted for myself, and then went in and did some bruising, reds, purples, brown, yellow, and a little bit of blue, because it would be a fresh bruise, as this all happens within 13 hours, as she has a time limit. So I didn't want to put too much yellow or browns because they are fresh wounds, but I did add a little bit to make it a little more realistic looking. So that's what I'm doing here. You kind of just dust on purples and blues and reds and then browns and yellows around the edges, to kind of make a realistic looking bruise. You can also add a little bit of pink like I did to make it look irritated as well. And then I did the bruise for the second hand that is on her forehead when they're doing this like pulling situation. So once again, just a simple bruise in that area. I made it a little bit darker because, the force would have been a little bit more visible there. But yeah. And then I just took some brown face paint and just kind of smeared parts of my face and my neck, because she would have been dirty. Like, she's running around and, through the labyrinth and all these other things, she's gonna get dirty. Now is when I come in a little heavy-handed on my paint job. So you could just use stage blood, any kind of fake blood for these. I just didn't have any on hand, so I just used a mixture of red and black water activated paint and just went over all of the edges of the, where it would have hit my skin. I think I added too much because it kind of got a little muddy, but you add just a little bit of water on your paintbrush and let it drip through the paint you already have on your face, and it'll make it kind of blood-like. I also added a little bit of white shimmer powder to all of the hot glue spikes, just to make them look a little bit more like glass.
And here's the final look for Quest Weary Sarah. Overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Did I go a little heavy-handed on the paint job? Yes. But I really like the small details that I put into it, paying homage to certain things that happened while she was in the labyrinth. In general, I really had fun creating the, classic Sarah look and then this kind of twisted Sarah. The Labyrinth is one of my favorite Jim Henson creations, so getting to recreate a character from it was super fun for me. Overall, I think both looks are great, and I highly recommend the at least normal one if you want a really comfortable last minute costume. Anyway, sadly, that brings me to the end of Nerdtastic Halloween for this year. I hope you guys have enjoyed this 6 days of me just having fun with makeup and trying to recreate some of my favorite characters from some of my favorite movies. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more or any of my other Nerdtastic Halloween videos, I'm going to leave a little link on the info card for my playlist. And if you feel ever so inclined, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know which look you liked better, normal Sarah or twisted Sarah. Or let me know if you've ever even seen The Labyrinth or read it. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, that's it for me. Until next time, as always, stay nerdy, my friends, and happy Halloween! Through dangers untold and hardships unnumbered, I have fought my way here to the castle beyond the Goblin City to take back the child that you have stolen.